In this video, I'm going to explain why a high ticket sales job is the best sales job that I've ever had, and why anybody that gets into this has the ability to make 15K a month if they stick with it. So a high ticket sales job is just a sales job for an internet business that sells some type of digital product. So that just means that the product is delivered on the internet and it's not a physical product that you could hold in your hand. Examples of this could be coaching and consulting, mentorships and communities. It could be marketing services like Instagram ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads. It could be internet courses, software. There's really endless possibilities. Now, why are sales jobs for these online businesses so lucrative for you as a salesperson? First, in any sales job, there's a couple of things that are going to make you more successful. And one, that's going to be the business having a really good product or service that's expensive that people want to buy. And two is going to be having a consistent inbound flow of warm leads. If you have those two things, you're going to make a shitload of money in sales, period. If you're selling something expensive that people want to give you money for, and you always have these people coming and scheduling calls, it's pretty hard for you to not make good money doing that. Unless you're just completely trying to fail or you have brain damage. And any good role in the high ticket space is going to have both those things. If the sales team is making a lot of money, then the business has those two things. So most of these products cost thousands of dollars, and you make at least a few $100s on every sale that you make. And since people want to buy these products, you don't have to convince them to do it, and you're constantly speaking to these people all the time, then you're going to make sales consistently all the time. Not very hard to understand. You make a lot of sales, you get paid a lot for each sale, so you make a lot of money. Now, if I know a business's numbers, I get their data, I can tell you exactly how much money you're going to make in a role, and I do this with people in my program all the time. 10% commission is going to be standard in high ticket, and when you get more experience, it's going to be 15% in some roles. They'll move you up, the commission structure will change, etc. If a business is doing 300K a month, let's do an example. 10% of 300K is 30K. So you are taking all the calls, remember? So all the sales are going through you, which means you are responsible for all those sales that are equaling that 300K a month. So sometimes though, a business doing 300K a month is going to have two closers because that's a fuck ton of sales calls. So if you divide 30K by 2, now you've got 15K a month. Now this is just a rough example for the video to give you some more clarity on how all this works. But with internet businesses having extremely high profit margins on products that cost 5K, 10K, sometimes even more than that, it's very easy for anyone to reach these numbers if they just stick with it. Some of the stupidest people I've ever met do this and make 20K a month because they've just been doing this for a while. They have experience. Now, why do people want to buy these products so much? Because they solve actual pains and problems in their life. What's an example of this? Any coaching program is going to be based around problems people want desperately solved. So we're not trying to reduce their electric bill with solar panels. Wow, nobody cares. However, they do desperately want to make more money and get out of some shit job. They do desperately want to improve their relationships, improve their health. Business owners desperately want to make more money and scale, etc. People want to buy things that will solve these problems. They don't desperately want to buy insurance, even though, yes, you can make lots of money as an insurance salesman. When you try to sell that to someone, they're not like, yeah, damn, I need this. They're like, hey, yeah, okay, I guess, They don't desperately, when you come to their door and hey, I can save you some money. I'm a coupon cutting motherfucker. You want to plaster these fucking massive solar panels all over your fucking roof? You're going to save $336 a year. They're not like, holy shit, I'm going to buy that right now. Can I pay extra? There's yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Now, what's a different example? Marketing services. Businesses desperately want to scale. Okay, they desperately want to make more money every month, and at a certain point, they'll have to run paid ads to do that. Paid ads can be very hard to dial in when you start, and business owners don't want to figure that out because they don't have time and it's difficult. So they want to hire an agency or someone to just solve that problem for them so their business starts spitting out more money easily, and they don't have to do anything. See what I mean? They desperately want to buy something like that. And furthermore, when it comes to a high ticket sales job, when you say the word sales to like the general masses, to the normies, the average person, they're familiar with like sales in movies and TV or some like regular sales job. Most people have done one shitty sales job or they know someone that has. And in sales, they didn't make shit. It was hard to make sales. They had to go get their own leads, etc. So that's what they think sales is, because most businesses suck. And most businesses just hire salespeople to do the marketing, the cold outreach, the cold calling, and they hope that these dumbass salespeople they don't have to pay are just going to go create the business out of thin air and just make money appear like a magician. When the business should have put the marketing and lead generation systems in place and set the salespeople up to succeed, which is what online businesses do with social media content and paid advertisements. That's how online businesses have solved these problems. So if you want someone to buy your product or service, you have to put it in front of their face first. People don't just wake up and start thinking about your business or your product. So when a business consistently posts good content on the internet about their product that solves a specific problem for a group of people, inevitably, because of AI and the algorithm, that content is going to reach the right people and you're going to get their attention, and they are going to eventually watch your content, get familiar with you, schedule a call, and buy. Or they're going to start following you, like I said, watching the content for a few weeks, and then they'll schedule a call and buy. But social media content is free advertising running all the time, 24/7. It's the greatest development in business since one caveman traded his woman to another caveman for a sack of stone tools or something. It's free to post. It's there forever. People look at it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because they're addicted to their phones. And the punchline is that the longer people see something, the more likely they are to buy it, because they're just more familiar with it. And if it speaks to their problems and they're like, this can solve my problem, they're going to buy it. So this concept alone is what keeps a large amount of warm inbound lead flow coming in and makes this such a fantastic opportunity for salespeople. What other sales job has ever existed where social media content was one of the main drivers of leads, qualified leads for a salesperson? This is the one. I cannot even explain in a video how much that changes the sales role and how this is the best sales job I've ever had, and I've worked every sales job you could possibly think of. And then on top of the content, people have been doing paid advertising on social media for a long time as well. So when you combine the two, now you're really cooking. You've got the organic traffic and the paid traffic, it's over, game over. But paid ads cost money, which cuts into profits, which can cut into your sales commission, which is why having the organic content running, all those organic leads coming in, that cuts down on the business's costs, on their ad costs, and allows them to make more money each month, and for you, the salesperson, to make good money, 10K a month at least, selling to people who already want to buy. At the end of the day, this is just a sales job. You get paid on commission. You take sales calls. You walk people through a simple sales process and you close them. But I've had all kinds of sales jobs. Some of them were pretty good. Some of them were the depths of hell. But even in the best sales jobs, like my tech sales job, there were still things that sucked. I made a lot of money, but the corporate environment was sucking my soul dry. There were these really long sales cycles. But in high ticket, it checks every box, in my opinion. You take calls with people who are warm and want to buy. Huge check box. You don't do any lead generation. You can make 10 to 20K a month and beyond. You have freedom and flexibility. And the people who run these good online businesses that you'll be selling for are generally pretty cool. And they don't really care what you do as long as you're making sales. So you can work wherever. Obviously, it's remote. You make the sales, you stack the money, people let you do what you want. And in good roles, which there are tons of, you don't do cold calling. And all the people you speak to have been pre-screened and pre-sold by the content they've been watching. So when you speak to them, you can be assured you're not going to be spending all day on the phone with people who just want to ask questions, looking for information, morons who have no idea what you're selling or if they even want to buy it, right? I'm getting PTSD from previous sales jobs where I had to deal with all that shit, right? And if you don't want to do this, you could go back to selling cars or knocking on people's doors that want to shoot you, trying to sell them things that they don't really want to buy. And most importantly, they don't want to fucking buy it either. At the end of the day, you just want to put yourself in the best vehicle to succeed. And high ticket sales is the best one I have found if you want to do sales. That's the end of the video. If you want my help getting a closer role or a setter role, go to the links in the description. Until next time.